last episode, we awoke to a chilly, frosty fall morning. And nature's most magnificent creatures were making use of fall's harvest and storing up for winter. As I walked further into the forest, I found you. We met here, at the gathering tree. And here we are again, because the gathering tree has a magical way of bringing people and creatures together. It's good to see you again, friend. Welcome back. Episode 2, Colourscape. All of my earliest memories of painting are with my grandma. We'd go for hikes in the forest, then go home and paint pictures. This was a picture of my favorite friend, Windy. She'd bark at the wind and we'd run through the leaves together. I painted this when I was about 6 years old. My grandma would sit next to me and she'd paint too, helping me figure out how to match the colors in my paint box to those bright colors we saw in nature. Those memories are some of the reasons why art is so special to me. Maybe you have memories like this too. What is your first memory of painting? Who do you like to paint with? What do you paint pictures of? I want to take you to a really special place. It's the North Shore of Lake Superior. It's beautiful, isn't it? One of the reasons I wanted to take you here is because the North Shore experiences some of the greatest changes between fall and winter than anywhere else in the world. Here I am along the shore of the lake collecting leaves and stones to put in my paint box. And I was so glad that I did, because less than 24 hours later, kapow! This is the same place I was at, but it's covered in snow. It's wild to me to think how wild nature really is, and how quickly the seasons can change. One minute you have these beautiful colors from fall, and the next you have a snowstorm. You've got to savor the moments and keep the colors of the season in your heart. Nature's confetti. Look closely at this dance floor of leaves. Can you find the hidden pictures? I hope you have your detective eyes in for this one. Here's what we're looking for. A red squirrel on the prowl for an acorn. A sweet little pair of mittens. One of fall's most dazzling flowers, the dahlia. A pine cone. Enough said. The quietest little mouse. A steamy cup of cocoa. This one might be the hardest one of all. A cozy scarf. A green leaf. And finally, that symbolic acorn. To make this a little bit trickier, can you find the hidden pictures before the snow covers the ground? Alright, let's begin. How'd you do? This I Spy was super tricky for me, but it helped me to find the objects when I realized they were sorted with the same color leaf. Let's reverse the weather and check it out together. Spoiler alert, answers ahead. So if you want to keep looking, push pause, go back to the picture, and then join us when you're ready. Okay, here we are, back where we started. I mentioned that I noticed the objects were sorted by color. The color of the leaf matched the color of the object. And here's that little mouse. You may have also noticed the acorn just to the side of the mouse. And just below that, the red squirrel. And there's that tricky scarf. The turkey upside down. Coming into the pine cone. And the cozy cup of cocoa. There's that pair of mittens. The dahlia flower. And right in plain sight, that green leaf. Nice work. Earlier I talked about keeping the colors of the season in your heart. And the colors of fall are powerful mood provokers. So it's no surprise that these colors take on special meaning during this time of the year. Here are 3 leaves I found on my walk. I decided to bring them back for color inspiration in my paint box. Let's take a closer look at the colors in these leaves. Look at this beautiful green. And there's my favorite color, yellow. And the oranges in this leaf up here? So many different shades of orange in one leaf. And these reddish browns, so beautiful. And this deep, deep red, it's almost purple. What we're looking at is fall's natural color palette. We're influenced by colors every day, even if we don't realize it. And the colors are mimicked in the things we surround ourselves with during the harvest season. Even when the thing, the object in our life, isn't part of nature, we tend to want to make it look, feel, or provoke the mood of the season. In this case, fall. And one of the best ways to do this is through colors. In other words, we take the colors of fall and the feelings those colors of fall give us, and we incorporate them into the objects we use, wear, or buy. Colors can also have a deeply personal meaning. Maybe a color makes you think of a certain mood or feeling or memory. Here are some of the names I've given the colors in my color box. Moss, Mitten and courage. Berry preserves. Gingerbread. Grandma's yarn. What do fall colors mean to you? What names would you call the colors you mix in your paint box that were inspired by the harvest season? Where have you noticed these same colors of fall being mimicked in the environment around you? Let's keep these questions in our mind as we begin our project. Let's start by setting up our workstation. For this project, we'll be using paints, so I like to lay down an old grocery bag or some newspaper to cover my surface and protect the table. Also, look down and make sure you're wearing clothes that can get messy. This paint washes off of skin, but not off of clothes or other surfaces. Pause this video until you've done these 2 steps. Then, push play to rejoin us again. Great work! Let's begin. Look inside your box and see if you can find your paints. We started by collecting some of fall's colors for you, but you can also use these colors to mix your own. It's also helpful if you have a cup of water and a paper towel from home. We'll be using these 2 items to wash and dry our brush each time we change paint colors. Pause this video until your workstation looks like mine. Then push play to join us again. Great work! Let's begin. I'm going to move these items just to the side so that my paper bag can be used for painting my objects. We have a lot of things to paint today. You might be tempted to start painting your tree right away. But before you do, consider painting your acorns first. If you remember, we left our acorns to dry on that clear plastic sheet. By starting with the acorns on this painting project and moving on to the tree, we'll have that plastic sheet available for mixing our colors later. Alright, see if you can set up your acorns and that plastic sheet. Pause this video while you set up your acorns and plastic sheet. Then push play to join us again. Okay, I know that was a lot of setup, but we've got it from here. As you're opening your paints, start to consider what color you'd like to make your acorns. I'm going to paint my acorns in their traditional colors, but last class we talked about the meaning of an acorn, and your word or your meaning for the acorn might call for a different color. So your acorn would still be the icon of an acorn, but the color symbolism might show that the acorn has a different meaning. It's up to you. You might even consider painting some of your acorns in their traditional way and others in colors that have meaning to you. For example, my orange color in my leaf color palette stood for courage, so maybe I would paint one of my acorns orange to let people know it stands for courage. Alright, once you've chosen an acorn and you've decided on its colors, you can begin painting. If there's a color you want to mix that you don't see available in your paint palette, you can mix it right onto the work mat or that plastic sheet, just like this. To help you mix colors, I'll put the color mixing chart on the big screen, and I'll add myself up in the corner, up here, so we can paint together. Remember, if you're mixing colors, you can mix them right on the top of that plastic work mat. Also, a little bit of black goes a long way. So if you're trying to make colors darker, start with just a dab of black. You can always add more. But once a color is mixed, we can't reach in and pull the colors back out again. Whether you're mixing your own colors or you're using the colors we provided, remember to wash and dry your brush in between each color. This will help keep your pots of paint clean so that they don't just start mixing on their own. For friends who choose to do this painting on their own without the music and guidance, you can take a screenshot of this color mixing chart. Then you can continue on with us when we move on to the tree. It's up to you, but I'm here painting with you if you'd like some company. On the left of the color mixing chart, you'll see basic color mixing instructions. In other words, using the primary colors to mix the secondary colors, purple, green, and orange. By mixing red and blue, you get purple. Blue and yellow, green. Yellow and red, orange. The chart on the right, labeled tints and shades, is a bit more advanced. Tints are colors that are lighter. We do that by adding white. Shades are colors that are darker. We do that by adding black. Black is a very strong color to add when you're mixing, so a little dab will do. A tone is what we call a color mixed with both black and white. It gives a gray tone effect to each color. This is a lot of information to digest, so if you're just starting with us, don't be afraid to just use the color chart on the left. That's okay and a great place to start. And if the whole color mixing thing scares you, that's okay too. We have some colors already mixed for you in your art kit. This is just color for thought. Something to consider. If not for this project, then maybe for other projects. A great way to create texture on the caps of your acorns is to use your glitter glue pen to create dots. However, before you do this, the paint on your acorns must be dry. So I'm going to save this step for next episode. Many of you might be finishing up your acorns and wondering what to do next. My acorns are dry, so I'm going to set them to the side. If yours are not dry, you can leave them on the plastic work mat until they are dry. And if you're still working on painting your acorns, don't worry about it. Take your time. This is your art, but I'll show you the next step so that when you are ready, you can join in with us. You've already got your materials set up from when we painted the acorns. These same materials will be used to paint your tree. You're already experts with these materials, so go ahead and find your tree and place it on either your work mat or your paper bag. When you're painting your tree, don't forget to paint the base, all the sides, and the trunk. If you want to leave some of the wood natural, that's okay too, but plan it out before you start applying the paint. It was helpful for me to turn my tree and to view it from different angles as I was making a plan for how to paint it and add color. Then I started to apply the paint, and voila! Moss, mittens, courage, berry preserve, gingerbread, and grandma's yarn. All of my favorite memories of fall captured in the colors of the gathering tree. Nice work, everyone. We're really creating a beautiful, beautiful forest of gathering trees. Next episode, we'll explore the leaves on the gathering tree and write some special meanings that are unique just to us and those who will be gathering around our gathering tree this holiday season. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me.